My name is Janine Damina, and I'm the newly elected town clerk. Ruth Bernier is the assistant town clerk. She's been here for quite a while, and she's extremely knowledgeable and helpful. This office is extremely busy. We're the keepers, basically, of all of the town agendas, the minutes, all of the town records. We take care of all the vital records, the licensing, marriage licenses, dog licenses. We post the agendas for all the committees and boards, as well as keeping records of their minutes. Right now, we're extremely busy with the election coming up, with the override election. A lot of people have come in and are filling out absentee ballots. I am the chief elections official. I'm taking this very seriously and doing the best we can.
My name is Amanda Kemp, and I am the chair of the Finance Committee.
I'm Linda Summers. I'm secretary for the committee.
I'm Janet Kane. I'm a member of the Finance Committee and the liaison to the Personnel Policy and Procedures Board.
My name is Francine Tishman, and I'm the vice chair of the committee and the liaison to the school committee.
We currently have one vacancy available. We are a 5-person committee with only 4 of us currently serving. And we're all volunteers from the community.
Basically, the group is responsible for working with department heads in establishing the annual budget.
Our job is to keep an eye on the workings of the town, to make suggestions and recommendations when we see areas where we think things could be improved. But our main concern is, financial. Like everybody else, we're taxpayers, and this is the public money, and we feel responsible for it.
And we also feel very accountable to the town and responsible for the position that we have, even though it's advisory.
Well, the passing of Proposition 2.5 is really essential for the financial well-being of the town of Southampton. In the last 10 years, we have used our reserves, our what's called free cash or unspent money from previous years, to augment our operating budget. We simply don't have enough money coming in from property taxes to adequately fund our services. This includes the school, the highway, the police, the fire departments. We're just out of money at this point. Our savings are gone. And if we don't pass 2.5, we're going to see some pretty dire cuts in services this coming year. As a resident of Southampton, I'm very concerned.
And the other thing is that the override isn't going to buy us a lot more in the town. The override is just going to enable us to continue to operate the way we've been operating.
I know with the passing of Prop 2.5, I think we're guaranteed that our property values will maintain the strength that they have. I mean, house values are dependent a lot on how well our schools function, and if the proposition doesn't pass, it's going to impact the schools and eliminate teachers and increase class sizes, which overall has an effect on the values of our property.
I'm Joanne Spath.
And I'm Anna Pack, and we're on the Board of Assessors in the town of Southampton. We do have a full-time assistant assessor, and she does go out and assesses property. And then we also have another individual that works part-time and does a lot of the paperwork and filings of the taxes and abatements. The Board of Assessors office is responsible for valuating real and personal property to the fullest and fair cash value. And we also submit the excise tax bills for motor vehicles and boats.
If you would like to file an exemption, this is the office that you'd file that. And we have exemptions for veterans, we have exemptions for the seniors. There's several different exemptions that can be filed for.
And the exemptions can be found online, or you're welcome to come into the assessor's office and gather the paperwork and submit.
And also, if you feel that your tax bill has been submitted incorrectly, you would come down here and we'll take care of it right away.
My name is Donna Whiteley. I'm the treasurer-collector for the town of Southampton. I have 2 other staff members in the office. One is the assistant treasurer and one is the assistant collector. The assistant treasurer does payroll and processes vendor warrant checks. The assistant collector helps with mailing and collecting of all real estate, personal property, motor vehicle bills, and we also now collect water payments here in this office. If Proposition 2.5 were to pass, we would be able to maintain our current staffing level, which would benefit us to be able to keep up with the workload that we currently have. We would also hope to replace a couple of our computers, which are currently 5 or 6 years old and on their last legs, and be able to maintain the equipment that we have.
Hi, I'm Heather Berjoyowitz. I am the town administrator for Southampton. So I work by myself most days, and I have an administrative assistant usually. Right now the position is currently filled by one of our wonderful volunteers in the town, and we are here Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. till about 4 p.m. and then we work weekends, weeknights, whenever we need to. We also help run the Board of Selectmen meetings, prepare all of their materials. We handle contracts for the town. We deal with all of the filing for the Board of Selectmen meetings. We also handle all of the liquor licenses, common victualler licenses for the town, entertainment licenses. Prop 2.5 is the upcoming election that we have, or the override election on July 1st. It's an important thing to consider. It's one of those things that you can equate with the analogy of an individual starts working and they're able to pay all of their bills. 5 years later, they still haven't received a raise, but they're unable to pay their bills anymore, and they wonder why. We're in that same situation right now in Town Hall, where we've gone so long since we've had a successful Prop 2.5 override that we're unable to actually continue forward and pay our bills adequately. So this year, what's been happening is with our proposed FY15 budget, the balanced budget anyway, there's actually significant amounts of things that have been reduced in the budget. The DARE program is gone. We are seeing that the school budget has had to have tremendous cuts, including staff and supplies and services that they provide over there. So at this point, if we do not have a Proposition 2.5 override, then that will reverse us back to the amount of money we have in the FY15 balanced budget, which would mean that we are at the absolute bare minimal funding for many of our services. It means we're barely able to continue with our ALS level fire department ambulance services. It means that we're at the absolute penny of what we can minimally spend in the library to maintain our accreditation. Next year, if we're in the same position, and we will be in the same position if we don't pass an override this year, what it will mean is that we have to take even larger cuts. And it means that we probably won't be able to keep our accreditation at the library. It means we'll probably have more cuts at the school. It means we'll have more cuts in town hall. So instead of having one furlough day in most departments monthly, you'll see multiple. It means that instead of having some services cut and some funds cut from expense lines, you're going to see even more. It means the police department will take a larger hit. It means the fire department will take a larger hit. When compared with the FY15 balanced budget and the FY15 proposed Proposition 2.5 budget, there's really a drastic difference in the amount of services we can provide the town and what the constituent needs. One of the concerns we often face with the Prop 2.5 proposed budget is that it only accounts for $760,000 instead of the $1 million. That's because $200,000 would go into our stabilization accounts and $40,000 would go into our OPEB. We're currently working with the finance department, the accountant, and the tax collector to put together a financial plan, the first of its kind in the town of Southampton, so we can better look at what's coming up for the next 5 years and balance and plan ahead. The other thing to look at is that with an override, what that ultimately means is that it does in fact put a one-time increase on the tax levy that we're allowed to collect. Right now we're at about 10 million and some change. What it would do is it would ultimately bring our balance to 11 million and some change that we're able to collect annually. Our tax rate right now is flat across the board for both industry and residents, $15.20, and the new tax rate would be $16.76, which would be an increase of $1.56 per thousand, which would mean that an average evaluated home of $150,000 would have a $234 increase annually. An average valuated home of $300,000 would have an annual increase roughly of $468 annually. So these amounts, although they may seem like a lot, they actually don't put us in the top bracket of Hampshire County. In Hampshire County, Southampton is number 6 currently. What does that mean? That means that Amherst right now has a tax rate of $20.97 per thousand. Hadley has the lowest at $10.64 per thousand, but they have a split tax rate, meaning their industry and commercial rates are higher, or not even necessarily higher, but they're a different portion. They're a different amount that's collected instead of our flat rate. Why can't we do that? Well, we could. The problem is we have very little industry and commercial base in Southampton to be able to split the difference. All in all, we come back to the same piece. We're faced with the two questions of, do we do Prop 2.5 override, or do we go with the balanced budget? Well, the ultimate decision is with the voters, but it comes down to what's best for the town and what's best for the residents.